Hi, and welcome to today's demonstration on loose leash walking. My name is Haley Heisel, and I'm one of the behavior consultants here at Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. Today, Leash will be demonstrating for us how to teach your dog to walk loose on leash. We'll be using two techniques. The first is called click for position, and the second will be red light, green light. We'll be showing you how to do both of those today. Today I'll be using a clicker. You don't have to use a clicker, you can use a marker word. If you've never used a clicker before, you can find instructions on how to use one on our website. Come on, Leash. So the first and main technique that we'll be using is what's called click for position. I'll be reinforcing him for staying in my general area with a loose leash. The second is red light, green light, where if he starts to pull, I'm going to stop walking and I'll only walk when his leash is loose. Make sure that you're starting in a non-distracting environment, otherwise you're making the task too hard for your dog. For you, this might be in your living room or even in your backyard. So to start, you want to reinforce often, otherwise he's going to get distracted and go off on his own. One thing I like to make sure that I'm doing is not just reinforcing him for staring at me, because dogs should be able to enjoy their walks. So I'm also going to reinforce him whenever he's loose, but also looking at something else. If at any point he does pull, then I'm going to stop walking. I don't want to reinforce him for pulling. But in general, I'm trying to avoid that. So there he pulled, so I'm just going to stop walking, get him kind of back with me, and then continue to reinforce for loose leash. So the reason we had you start in a less distracting environment is so that your dog can have a lot of success with click for position. When you go into a more distracting environment, it's going to be harder for your dog to focus on you. So if they've had a lot of positive reinforcement with this task already, it's going to be easier for them and for you. As we move into a more distracting environment, you may see us using both techniques more, which is the red light, green light. But we always want to focus on using the click for position as much as possible. So let's head outside. Come on, Leash. Now that we're in a more distracting environment, I have increased the value of my reinforcer. I'm using cheese now. The reason I need a higher value reinforcer is because the cheese is more motivating to him, because the criteria has increased in the more distracting environment. When a distraction that you weren't counting on comes your way, increase your rate of reinforcement because the criteria has also increased. But you're fine. Good job. So Leash is doing great in this new environment. It's key to increase your distractions gradually. The reason we're on the road instead of out in the bush is because that would have been too many increases in distractions all at once. If your dog does start pulling, you can use red light, green light. Red light, green light is simple. If your dog is pulling, then stop walking. If your dog's leash is loose, then you can start walking. Hey, Leash. So when Leash pulled, I stopped moving forward. I got his attention back to me and then resumed doing click for position. Good job, buddy. Since Leash is doing so well, we're going to increase criteria by heading out into the bush. Let's go, Leash. So if Leash starts to pull, I'm going to stop walking, get him back. I'm going to stop walking, get his attention back. Leash. Reinforce for position again. And then try again. If it was a particular smell he's trying to get to, I do want to let him smell it, but I want him to get there with a loose leash. Leash is doing awesome. I'm really proud of him. The more practice that Leash gets, and you and your pet get, the fewer treats that he'll need over time to stay with a loose leash. Good boy. Thanks so much for joining us for this Strut Your Mutt event. You can find more resources on our website. Good luck training, and remember to have fun.